Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for trading on Thursday, July the 27th, 2017. Taking a quick look at the pulse of the market today. You can see this bearish engulfing candle took place, so you could call this a short-term market top. The Nasdaq topped out at 59.95 and 3/4, so it came within just 4.25 points shy of hitting that 6,000 mark. All right, so it got close, but no cigar. Came within 4 points of hitting that 6,000 mark before retreating. Will we see the 6,000? Hard to say, but there are a few things we need to look at. Now, I drew you charts. I showed you different things, and I gave you a price time differential. And I called out that the market should be topping out and, on or about July the 31st. That would take us into what? Next Tuesday? But it's looking like it did it now. Instead, actually, no, I'm sorry, not next Tuesday. Next month, this coming Monday, it will be topping out. So we just did it 2 trading sessions ahead of schedule. So this is quite telling because we're getting a repeat of 2012, which is rather interesting. Around the same times, we saw a similar situation, and this should, if this is going to be a repeat of that, this will take us into the end of the summer and well into, like I said, around September, October. So this is a very interesting repeating pattern that is showing up. But I'm not going to write everything off yet. We still have a way to go. Got to get down here to, first of all, market needs to get down to 58.49. That's the first trend line support. Second trend line support is at 57.52. Truth be told, in the macroeconomic and macro charting super cycle way of things, according to the algorithms, we have quite a lot. I want to say almost 1,000 points of space and air pocket that this market can pull back into and still be bullish. Technically speaking, 5,000 is that magic line in the sand for the NASDAQ. All right, we've had a lot pumped into these markets. All right, this is the excess, okay? That's the magic trend line. As long as the market does not violate this magic trend line, we're good to go. 5,000. 5,000 should be, if revisited, should test and hold. Market should not get below that, and that will be the new historical low. Moving forward, giving the market much needed support to take off beyond 6,000 and get up to maybe 65 to 6,900, almost 7,000. So all things being equal, we have some very interesting things on the horizon. But now let's break down and really check out the pulse of these markets real quick. Let's see what other clues we got. Remember me telling you that the Russell had a crash alert? Y'all remember that? All right, here we go. The Russell already has pulled back. It was the first to really retreat from its intraday high, and it never got back there. The Russell never got back to that intraday high, and it is leading the way with the weakness. So that was the first sign we saw, was that Russell. The second thing we saw that I pointed out to you guys the last several days, I said, let's take a look at this XIV and watch it and see what happens, because we want to make sure that it's not leading the way first. Normally, the XIV would lead the way first. In this case, Tomorrow, it needs to close above 87.76. A close below that would take away all the momentum and lead to further downside in the week to come. As long as the market stays above that, there's a strong possibility of seeing more uh, breakout in the coming week, as the XIV still is remaining strong. However, you look back at the Russell here, and please pardon me, I'm very congested. uh, it's already dangerously close to falling below its momentum support, which is at 1427.5. So a close below that tomorrow would, excuse me, change the course. Sorry about that. All right, so that would change the course of things significantly because then you would give up all momentum and you would lose it going into next week and run the possibility of dropping below these trend line supports at 14, 18, 10 in the Russell. The other thing that we look at, as far as looking at the overall health of the market, is the Forex counterpart Euro Yen. If Euro Yen turns 2, which usually tracks perfectly with the stock market, then we know that we're in a situation. Well, so far, so good. The Euro Yen is holding up. All it needs to do is close above 128.61 tomorrow, and we will carry over some bullishness into the following week. All right, so once the XIV and the Euro Yen turn, then that's a strong, strong possibility, letting you know that the bull may have died. All right, so that's what we're watching, trekking forward right now. All right, and let's see what else we'll look at. Oh, you can look and see how the Dow managed to stay positive by what, like 25 points. All right, on the future side, now the cash market closed up 85 points. The Nasdaq closed down more than 33 points, and the S&P 500 closed down just over 2 points, and the Russell closed down just over 8 points. Okay, so the Dow remained strong. They're making sure that Dow stays up. What does the Dow need to do? The Dow needs to close above 21,459 tomorrow if it wants to carry over some more momentum into the following week. I don't see that being difficult based on the current chart pattern. Moving along, looking at gold. Gold really caught a bid here as the stock market sold off. And you can see now we're 3 weeks in a row of upside momentum. Can the market make it back up to that 1,300 price inflection point? It's going to be tough to do that. But hey, remains to be seen. You came off here and then you spiked a new high here. Didn't close, but you spiked one. Came down again. Now you're trying to run back up again. All right, four. We had 4 bars the last time. Here's a third one. Can we get another run next week that'll put us back over 1280? It's tough to say. We'll have to watch and see. Trade what you see, not what you think. All right, so taking a look now at silver. High ho silver away. All right, so silver's really struggling with that 1678 resistance. All right, really struggling. Really, really struggling. Can it break through? All it needs to do is stay above 1632 tomorrow to close, and they'll carry over some momentum to have one more week to do this. And then we get up to the overall resistance of 1712 right here. Then there's a little air pocket at the bottom of the Kumo cloud around the 1740 level. Excuse me. So silver has a lot to work off. It really does. Or we're going to put another leg in downward next week, and that could look pretty bad. Mighty big fall we could have. All right, so switching to the dollar. Dollar's trying to make a comeback, try to put a low in and find a spot to rally from once they get back up to 95.10. and here we are at 93.87. All right, so it's trying to stage a comeback, and that's what made the euro pull back today in today's trading as well after hitting 118. Let's take a look at that. All right, so the euro finished up at 117.11 after hitting 118.08. So quite the pullback on the euro. However, it's still strong in its overall market complexion. All it needs to do is stay above 115.33, and it locks and carries over more momentum for next week. Looking at these miners, GDXJ, GDXJ still weak, really struggling at this 33.51 resistance. It's really trying to run up to the 34.84 as close as it can get. Last time we just spiked it, but we didn't close. So the last couple of times we've just been doing nothing but spiking the trend line, but not closing, failing to get the final momentum needed to push bullish. So a lot to work through in this market, but there's a chance it could do something. Just needs to close above 32.75, and it will carry over some bullish momentum into next week, even if this ends up on a red bar. So even on this red bar currently, it's still trading above the 32.75 level. So that could be good going forward. Bitcoin still weak, as you can see here. Just the GBTC just needs to close above 385.41, and it can carry a little something over into next week. BTSC, nothing but red. Really can't, really struggling. All it needs to do is close above 0.0747, and it will have an opportunity to carry over a little bit of momentum for next week. BITCF is green on the screen. And you can see here that all it needs to do is close above 0.3738, and it will be good to go. Right now, it's doing just that. Trying to carry over some momentum for next week to get back up to that 60 cent level. And let's see, I think that just about does it. Really not too much to talk about, but I did warn you also on the Nvidia. All right, crash alerts playing out, folks. All right, here you go. Here's your Nvidia. All right, closed down $5.52 on the day. All right, so you can see that markets are getting tired up at these lofty levels. Have not had a significant pullback at all. We came in to this week with a crash alert starting it off. That crash alert pulled back. It did manifest a little bit, but then we haven't had one since until now. So as you can see, market came in and hit a high today, but then quickly retreated from that. So market's getting tired. These crash alerts come for a reason, folks. You can't make this stuff up. Sometimes it takes three to five bars for it to manifest, but once it manifests, it is what it is. So with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And big shout out to Peter Schiff, who ended his podcast yesterday with that same slogan. So mad props to Mr. Peter Schiff on that one. And also remember, pulsewavetrading.com. You can come and learn how to navigate these algorithmic waters. Learn how you can create a additional income stream for you and your family. Come learn what the central banks do not want you to know. And hopefully, as time permits, and if I feel more up to it, then I can deal with some of these other news events. I know everybody's bugging out over this whole microchipping of the employees. I told you guys that years ago, back on the late great Charlie McGrath show. Everybody thought I was crazy when I said that. You don't believe me? Go take a look at the playlist. It's on my YouTube channel with me and Charlie from back in the day. Take a listen and see exactly what we talked about you mad years ago. Okay. Also, in the documentary that I did labeled There is no collapse. I go into depth and at length about that as well. Everybody's up in the uproar, talking about these microchipping of people. I told you that was coming, and you still ain't seen nothing yet. But calm down. Calm down. It is not the mark of the beast. Truth be told, if I have time to deal with this at length, I will. But truth be told, people, you don't have to be afraid of the microchip. All right? The mark of the beast is twofold. There's a spiritual mark of the beast, and there's a physical mark of the beast. The spiritual mark of the beast is the one you need to be the most concerned about. Because the spiritual mark of the beast, every human being is born with. Everyone's name who is not listed in the Lamb's Book of Life has the mark of the beast already. The physical mark of the beast is a different one. The physical mark of the beast has attached to it worship. All right? It's not good enough just to have some type of electronic device, digital device, whatever you want to call it. It has no power with it. The mark of the beast in the coming days ahead will have associated with it loyalty and pledge to the beast. All right? So even if they passed a law tomorrow and said everyone has to get microchipped or take the tattoo version of the microchip, it's not a bad thing per se. All right? Because it's not the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast has with it an oath of loyalty to Satan. Okay? You're taking a pledge when you take that mark. This is not that mark. All right? So, with that being said, peace out.